The things he's done with children, though, are the most troubling things. Will needs to be locked up. His own assistant thought so as well, for the stuff he did to his son. You know, I don't know why people haven't hung Jada high for introducing psychedelics into her children's lives while they were still in their teenage years. I don't understand. They admitted that out loud and everybody was okay with it.
Not only does it help you feel better, but it helps you solve the problems of how you got there in the first place.
I know they all, I do.
Will Smith is one of the most charming men I've ever met in my entire life. I was like, I love hip hop. I love all the old school, all the new school. Do you know Juvenile? I love Juvenile. It's right when the Hot Boys were coming out. I was like, I met, and then he's like, well, like this the whole time. He's like, dude, I like you. I go, I like you.
Right.
He goes, what are you doing tonight? And I go, I don't know. And he goes, let's go see a movie. And I was like, okay. He's like, cool. Meet me at Planet Hollywood at 7. And I was like, okay. And then he just walks out. I was like, that kept it quick. So I get in the car. I call my dad. He goes, how did it go? And I go, it went great. I go, we're going to the movies. And my dad's like, oh, date? I go, I don't know. I don't think so. And he goes, who else is going? I think just me and Will. And he goes, oh, buddy. He goes, I think he's going to. I said, what? He goes, it's very popular in Hollywood. These guys get so tired of it that the only thing that turns them on is to the young dudes.
The whole storm really kicked off with that one unforgettable moment. That's when people stopped feeling sorry for Will Smith and started side-eyeing everything after that Red Table Talk episode dropped. The scene burned into everyone's memory. Will sitting there, not like a man running his marriage, but like someone just trying to survive it. His silence said it all. He looked crushed, sitting in front of the world, being told this was healing. Then boom, voices like Charleston White came in loud, saying what so many were already whispering but didn't dare to post online. Charleston wasn't here to sugarcoat anything. He went straight for the truth people were avoiding. He didn't just point at that single awkward interview. He zoomed out and broke down 3 decades of fame. 30 long years of Will being painted as Hollywood's flawless golden boy. But Charleston made people look again and start asking, was it all just an act? For years, there were no scandals, no public mess, not even a tiny crack in that perfect couple image, until Jada sat at that red table, spilled their private life for the world to see, and turned it into a show.
Will Smith has had forceful engagement with Meek Mills, August Alsina, and Bashir Gray.
You know, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love.
And Belial told me that he had sex with his own son. Those are boys.
That's when everything changed. Cameras rolled, emotions sold, and suddenly their marriage became content. But here's the twist that Charleston White pointed out. He didn't call Will weak for staying. Nah, Charleston said Will was stuck. According to him, Will's not some broken man. He's trapped in a situation where walking away wouldn't just end a marriage, it would open every locked door. Imagine it. Doors to old secrets, hidden stories, and decades of stuff the world was never supposed to hear. Staying married meant keeping the story neat and under control. But leaving, that would mean chaos, questions, rumors, explanations, and maybe even scandals too big to manage. And while Charleston's got his own wild theories about why Will refuses to divorce Jada, there's someone else who actually knows the truth. Someone who used to be right there beside him, his former best friend, Bilal. He's spoken out before against the Smiths, and every time he does, the pressure gets real intense. If Bilal's story is even half true, then this whole thing was never about honesty, it was about control. That's the real bombshell. Bilal claimed that Will Smith wasn't living free, he was living in fear. Not fear from the fans, not the headlines, but fear inside his own home. According to Bilal, Jada had such a tight grip on everything around Will that even if he wanted to walk away, he couldn't.
But you come from a world of where you could monetize certain things. So, hey, before we talk about it, let's bring it to the red table and let's monetize our conversation.
If I can't please you, why you want to tell people this? How kind of gonna be trying to you when they realize I can't please you?
Every move he made was watched. Every word he said had weight. That's a heavy way to live. When Jada started speaking out in public, Bilal said he stopped blaming Will completely. In his eyes, Will wasn't the problem. He was the prisoner. Bilal said straight up that Will was stuck, caught in a setup he didn't really control. And that's when Bilal drew a line. His issue wasn't with Will anymore. It was with Jada. He believed she was trying to silence him, to ruin his name before he could drop the truth about what was really going on.
Lawyer, but after seeing all these headlines saying that Will Smith is being sued for assault, I decided to read the 15-page lawsuit. So let me tell you exactly what this plaintiff is saying happened. Now, the plaintiff, or the person who filed the lawsuit, is this man, whose name is Brian King Joseph, and he's a violinist and a former contestant on America's Got Talent.
What is your name?
My name is Brian King Joseph. I'm from Los Angeles, and I play violin.
Bilal claimed that this kind of exposure is exactly what Jada's been running from. He said the moment he started talking, everything around him went quiet, fast. Interviews suddenly got canceled, shows that wanted him before stopped calling, and people who promised him airtime just vanished. According to him, that wasn't coincidence, that was power moving behind the scenes. It showed him that influence was winning, not truth.
According to the lawsuit, Will Smith and Brian King Joseph first met after Joseph did some studio sessions with several high-profile artists. After those sessions, he was referred to Will as someone that could potentially be used for some recordings. In November of 2024, Joseph meets Will in person and shows him what he can do on the violin. From there, Will agrees to let him play at an upcoming show he has in San Diego. Now, the San Diego show, which was in December of 2024, goes great, and according to the lawsuit, Will then invites Brian King Joseph to be more involved in the performances and tells him that he's a valuable member of the team and offers him more stage time during the shows. And their relationship, according to the lawsuit, grew even closer. The suit says that the two of them began spending additional time alone, with Will Smith even telling Joseph, quote, "You and I have a special connection that I don't have with anyone else." Okay.
And right in the middle of all this chaos stands Will Smith, caught in the shadow of what Bilal described as an unpredictable and controlling Jada. He painted a picture of a man trapped behind contracts, joint businesses, and layers of legal and image protection that keep him tied down. Bilal made it sound like Will isn't living freely. He's living inside a carefully managed system built to protect everything but his peace. A divorce for Will Smith wouldn't just be personal, it would be explosive. It would kick off legal battles, trigger financial investigations, and drag back all those unanswered questions that people have been whispering about for years. Every old headline, every secret rumor, it would all come flooding back.
They got the ups on me. Mama got the ups on me, man. I can't tell you my wife. How you think they looking at me? Look how we look at Will. Y'all see how you know how you look at Will. Like a weenie.
Change.
Like a weenie.
Why do you think he's still married to Jada? Why is he still in? She's clearly shitting on him. Single on this nigga.
Ain't no different than in the woman stay with the man and whoop her. Same thing. She love that rotten mother.
That's why, from this angle, Will stays locked in. If just one outsider speaking out causes this kind of chaos, imagine the storm that would hit if the marriage itself actually broke apart. A divorce wouldn't just be emotional, it would be a full-blown legal war, loaded with paperwork, lawyers, and headlines that never stop coming. According to what people close to the situation are saying, Will can't just walk away even if he wants to. He's tangled in something way bigger than a love story. And here's where another insider stepped in with a wild theory about why Jada treats Will the way she does. Rapper Boosie claimed the real issue was never Hollywood or the fame, it was Tupac.
She likes, she don't like the ass whooping, but she loved him enough to take the ass whooping. That's love. Love ain't about what you can give. The love is about what you can take. So shit, man, no. He love that hoe you talking about. And then, they probably do some freaking. See? Yeah, they probably done some things. You gotta keep each other if they leave each other.
Yeah.
More importantly, it was what Tupac meant to Jada. That connection, he said, changed everything. Boosie broke it down plain and simple. Jada and Tupac weren't just casual friends, they grew up together. Before the fame, before the money, before the chaos, they had a real connection that people could feel. Folks who were around back then said the bond between them was deep, unshakable. On movie sets, they laugh, joke around, and move like two souls who just got each other. Boosie said connections like that don't just vanish. He claimed Will probably thought that after Tupac passed, Jada would finally let go and move forward. But according to Boosie, that never happened. In his eyes, Tupac's presence still lingers in Jada's world, even now. That's a heavy shadow to live under. Then came Suge Knight, adding even more fire to the conversation. He didn't hold back either. He called out people for constantly using Tupac's name just to get attention. Suge said they weren't even there and have no idea what really went down. He reminded everyone that these stories still hurt the people who actually lived through that pain. The deeper message that both Boosie and Suge were pushing was clear. Tupac wasn't just a memory from Jada's past. He was a piece of her story that never truly ended. That bond didn't fade. It lingered, shaping everything that came after.
I talked for 2 hours.
Okay.
And I said some pretty, what some people may think to be outrageous things, but I knew them to be true and had the evidence to be, to show that it was true.
And no matter how massive Will Smith's success got, no matter the blockbuster movies, red carpets, or shiny awards, he could never outshine that shadow. It's like Tupac's presence stayed hovering over their marriage, unspoken, but always there. That's why people have been saying for years this whole thing was never just about love or marriage. It's about ghosts from the past that never stopped haunting the present. But now, something serious is unfolding quietly behind the scenes. Word dropped that a musician who once worked on Will's tour has filed a lawsuit against him. Since that hit the news, fans noticed something odd. Will hasn't said a single word about it. Not a statement, not a post, nothing. And that silence has everyone talking. No statements, no denials, no explanations, nothing. And what's even more shocking, Jada hasn't said a single word about the allegations surrounding her husband either. Total silence from both of them. Meanwhile, Will's been out here posting travel pics, smiling with friends, promoting his projects, and acting like everything is perfectly fine. But that calm, cool attitude, it's not random, it's calculated.
So from that, that's when Jada responded out of anger, not out of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because for her to be a global, iconic superstar, you rushed to the Breakfast Club to say, number one, that, I extorted you. There was a money shakedown. You said you didn't have all the facts. So that puts you in legal jeopardy right now. You said all the facts will come out. None of the facts came out.
When someone as famous as Will Smith goes quiet during a legal storm, that silence isn't by mistake, it's strategy. Because when old business starts crawling back to the surface, every word can be used against you. According to court documents, the lawsuit is officially moving forward, at least against the company linked to Will's team. But here's the tricky part. It's still not clear if Will himself has actually been served yet. And that tiny legal detail might explain everything. It could be the reason why he's staying silent, keeping his moves private, and letting the lawyers handle the noise behind the scenes. The man behind the lawsuit says he was brought on to perform during Will's tour, but things went bad fast. He claims that while working there, he started to feel unsafe, so he reported it. Not long after that, he says he was suddenly cut loose. That's where the heart of this whole lawsuit hits. It's not about fame, not about celebrity drama, it's about retaliation. He's saying that just for speaking up, he lost his job. And that's when the story gets even bigger, because this isn't just one issue for Will Smith, it's a stack of them. He's now facing pressure from every side. The public watching his every move, lawyers digging for answers, his career on the line, and personal drama that just won't fade away. It's like all the walls are closing in at once.
So now you, Will, and yourself are in legal jeopardy. Her lawyer sends me a cease and desist letter, which I had to report him to the bar, Kenneth B. Hurt, because he said, I never knew Will. And I have everything here. I never knew Will, that I never worked for Will, and that he said he represented Willard Carroll Smith, which is Will's real name, but he was asking me to take down statements from Jada. So that's what we call a law overreaching. You cannot, if you're saying you represent Will, you can't compel me to do something against you.
And now, things are getting even heavier. Behind closed doors, insiders are whispering that Will's team is in full crisis mode. Every post, every public move, even who he stands next to in a photo is all being carefully watched. That's how tense things have gotten. People close to the situation say Will's been trying to keep everything running smooth, but it's clear the pressure is wearing him down. He's got a lawsuit heating up, a marriage that's still under a microscope, and a fan base that doesn't know what to believe anymore. It's like no matter what he does, somebody's ready to twist the story. Jada, on the other hand, has stayed completely silent, But that silence is starting to feel loud. The internet's full of people asking, where's Jada? Why isn't she standing by him? And the lack of answers just keeps feeding the fire. Some insiders claim Will's staying quiet because there's more going on behind the scenes than anyone knows. Private talks, possible settlements, maybe even people trying to bury stories before they explode. One thing's for sure, the spotlight isn't fading anytime soon, and Will Smith is standing right in the middle of it.
Will's never responded, and they responded in less than 9 hours.
They did. That was a fast response.
That was because he know what I saw in that dressing room. He know other things that I saw.
We said it was murder.
Yes, Dwayne Martin's a serial, because Will's not the only one. And we're going to get into that later on, too. So basically, Jada's interview did two things. It makes me and her at war.
Now here's where the story takes a darker turn. Sources close to the scene claim that the tension inside Will's circle has reached its breaking point. People who once worked with him are supposedly starting to distance themselves, quietly removing tags, skipping events, and staying off the record. That kind of silence says everything. Insiders say Will's usual calm energy has shifted. He's trying to keep things light in public, but behind the smiles, there's a man under serious pressure. Between the lawsuit, the constant headlines, and whispers about old drama resurfacing, it's like he's fighting battles on every front. And here's the wild part. Some reports say that even major studios are watching closely, waiting to see how this plays out before locking him into new deals. Hollywood's got a short memory, but it doesn't like bad press, and Will knows that better than anyone. Meanwhile, Jada's silence still hangs in the air. She's posted a few cryptic quotes online, and fans are reading way too much into them. Theories are flying everywhere, but one thing's clear, this story isn't slowing down. If anything, it's only getting louder, and the world's watching every single move they make.
I'm gonna put Will to the side. Will is to the side. Me and Jada, I will say this because I know you're watching. I know Karen Tense is watching.
Who's Karen Tense?
That is her PR person for years.
Okay.
Right? I know they're watching. Jada, you're a bald-head liar and you're a drug addict, right? You did not sue me. You told the world that you were going to sue me. As of yet, and you said you're going to do it swiftly. It's been over 2 weeks. So Jada, I'm giving you 2 more weeks to sue me. If you don't sue me, this is what's going to happen. All the parties, right? And the men that you hit with dildos, I'm naming names, right? All the salacious stuff that you have done and hurt other people, I'm naming names.
And just when it seemed like the noise couldn't get any louder, another twist dropped. A few entertainment insiders claimed that a new tell-all might be in the works, one that could expose everything behind the scenes of Will and Jada's marriage. If that's true, things are about to explode all over again. Sources say some people close to the couple have been approached for interviews, and the questions being asked are way too personal. Stuff about old contracts, private arguments, even details about business deals they've tried to keep buried. Nobody's confirming anything yet, but the timing feels suspicious, right when the lawsuit and public scrutiny are peaking. Now, fans are split down the middle, some defending Will, saying he's being dragged unfairly, while others believe this might finally reveal the truth everyone's been waiting to hear. And through it all, Will stays quiet, like a man who knows one wrong word could set off a whole new scandal. People are calling this the calm before another storm, and honestly, it feels like something big is coming. Whether it's the lawsuit, a new expose, or someone finally speaking out, this story isn't even close to being over. Now the tension around Will Smith's world is hitting a whole new level. Reports are coming in that his legal team has tightened security around all communication. No leaks, no casual chats, nothing without approval. That kind of lockdown only happens when something serious is brewing.
Because now what we got to do is we got to force her to say she lied. You assassinate my character. You say I extort you. Well, extortion is criminal. Like, I would be in jail right now if I tried to extort the Smiths. If this was an extortion plot, see, there's a difference between saying something that's civil. Like, I could say different, like she's had various venereal diseases, right? And I'm saying that. Jada has. I'm saying that, right? But I'm going to tell you why she's not going to sue me, because she knows it's true.
People close to the situation say Will's become more private than ever, spending most of his time away from Hollywood's chaos. He's been seen traveling quietly, keeping his circle small, and avoiding anything that could spark more headlines. But even from the shadows, his name keeps trending, like the drama just won't let him breathe. Meanwhile, whispers about that rumored tell-all keep spreading. Some say producers are already fighting for rights to exclusive footage, while others hint that someone from inside the Smith circle might finally break their silence. It's starting to sound less like rumor and more like reality.
So that's why my attack is on her now, right? Because at the end of the day, Jada is a bald-head, lying dope fiend, period. That's what she is.
I can verify.
Right. And the liar, the whole world knows she's a liar.
Yeah, we can verify.
And let's talk about the dope fiend. So Jada has self-admitted to using and other drugs, which are illegal. Who got them drugs for her? Who got the see that in all these interviews, she says she used ecstasy, addicted to. So you're trying to tell me that's criminal. You're buying or sending someone to buy illegal drugs. But when you got this type of money, ain't nobody coming. You say you addicted to all forms of men, women, bestiality, all this stuff.
She said bestiality?
Oh,
I didn't know nothing about that.
Listen, let me say something to you. All you gotta.
I know she said she had a sex addiction.
No. She also that she was addicted to. So this is out. This is from her own. Because people see what I do is I'm gonna connect the dots with people. So now they can go and see. Oh yeah. Then also she also claimed to be an alcoholic. Right? So, yeah. So she said she passed out. I think it was on Nutty Professor or something because she was smoking weed and drinking too much and the drugs. So this is a dope fiend. Her mother was a dope fiend, right? So we got to look at the behavior of the dope fiend, right? This is what we're looking at.
And through all this, fans keep asking the same question. How much more can Will take before he finally snaps or speaks out? The pressure's insane, the attention non-stop, and with new information surfacing every week, it feels like the next chapter of this saga could drop any second. Things are way too quiet, and that silence feels dangerous. Now the air around this whole situation feels electric, like something major is about to break. Sources close to the entertainment scene are saying that Will's next move could make or break everything he's built. Rumor has it he's been having secret meetings with top publicists and crisis managers, trying to figure out how to rebuild his image without digging himself deeper into the mess. That's no small task when the world's watching every blink and breath. Insiders claim the tension between Will and Jada is at an all-time high. They've been living almost separate lives, appearing together only when absolutely necessary. Behind the scenes, their teams are reportedly negotiating what the next public step should be, whether that means a joint statement, a private settlement, or something bigger that could shock everyone. Fans online are restless, picking apart every post, every like, every appearance. They're convinced something's coming, and they might be right. What's wild is that even with all this chaos, Will's still trying to keep a smile for the cameras, but people can tell that smile looks forced. The calm might not last long, because when truth starts creeping out from behind Hollywood's curtain, it never stays quiet for long. And now, the story feels like it's reaching a breaking point. Rumors are swirling that someone inside Will's inner circle is ready to spill. Someone who's been close enough to know everything.
Will has always paid you for all the work that you've done.
An abundance. And Will has put a significant amount of money in my pocket. That's why this wouldn't have been a problem with the book. Listen, Jada comes in and say don't give him nothing. My thing with Will was, and even when we're on my Instagram with that video where Will say, you in the book, I blew you up. We were in the middle of all this stuff, but I'm in it with Jada. I didn't really have time to talk to Will that night, right? I didn't have time to have that good conversation with Will, but then the slap happened and I didn't want all this stuff to come out doing this. This would have crushed him during the slap.
Word is, this person has already met with a few media outlets, and the details they're hinting at could flip the whole narrative upside down. If that leak drops, Hollywood won't know what hit it.
Insiders say Will's team is scrambling to keep things contained, throwing around legal warnings and locking down anyone tied to past projects. That kind of panic doesn't happen unless there's real danger of something explosive coming out. Every lawyer in his camp knows that one wrong headline could ruin not just his brand, but his legacy. Meanwhile, Jada's still silent, but some say her calm isn't confidence, it's preparation. She's allegedly working on her own side of the story, ready to defend herself if things get ugly. And let's be real, it's looking like that time's coming fast. Everyone's asking the same thing now. How much truth can stay buried before it bursts into the open? The Smith story's no longer just celebrity gossip. It's turning into a full-blown Hollywood storm, and the thunder's about to hit hard. Now the tension's so thick you can feel it. Hollywood insiders are whispering that Will and Jada's team might finally be preparing for a public showdown, something no one expected to actually happen.
Jada essentially kept me away from Will, but Will knew what was going on, and like Jada runs Will, period. Because there's nothing that two friends of 38 years, a little small business deal, right? That might be what, 100 and something thousand, 190,000, whatever that amount is, right? It's two friends can work that out. But when you got your narcissist wife and sociopath wife saying, oh, I'm gonna crush him, I'm gonna kill him, this is criminal.
After months of rumors, silence, and side comments, it sounds like both sides are gearing up to speak their truth. And when they do, the fallout could be massive. People close to Will say he's had enough of being painted like the confused husband. He's reportedly ready to reclaim his image and tell his side of the story, but carefully, because one wrong word could open up a legal storm he can't control. That's why his team is moving quietly, reviewing every past interview, every quote, every old deal that could come back to bite him. On Jada's end, the silence is cracking too. A few close friends have hinted that she's been documenting her own version of events, possibly for another project. And if that's true, it could turn into the next headline wave. Fans are bracing for it, news outlets are waiting for the first statement, and social media is already gearing up for chaos. This isn't just another celebrity update anymore. It's turning into the kind of public reckoning that could reshape both of their careers for good. After everything that's come out, the rumors, the lawsuits, the silence, it's clear this whole story runs way deeper than most people thought. It's not just about fame, image, or even love anymore. It's about power, control, and maybe survival. Will Smith isn't just living in the spotlight, he's living under a microscope where every move can spark a new wave of headlines. One thing's for sure, he's been trying to keep it together, to find peace while the world keeps watching. Like he once said, not only does it help you feel better, but it helps you solve the problems of how you got there in the first place. That's deep. It sounds like a man trying to fix himself while standing in the middle of chaos. So when people ask, why doesn't Will just divorce Jada? Maybe the real answer isn't about love anymore. It might be about survival, about holding on to what's left of his image, his career, or maybe even his sanity. But what do you think is really going on with the Smiths? Why won't Will just walk away from Jada? Drop your thoughts below. We want to hear your theories. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment, because the conversation's just getting started. And this story, it's far from over.